Kara, talk to us about managing your clients' needs across the media landscape. How is that changing?
For us, we manage the video business as not just TV. And I think I've had a couple people over the last few weeks asking me, what does video in your title actually mean? And it means really anywhere that video lives, whether that's linear TV or buying linear TV programmatically, addressable TV. It could include cinema, although cinema is where it is because of COVID right now. It also includes like any of the data-driven linear, like Viacom Vantage or an NBC AdSmart. And then it's online video, it's streaming, interactive video. So really anywhere that our consumer is viewing video, we're following them across screens.
So, Kara, in terms of making advanced TV work, what are some things that the industry needs to solve, and how can these solutions become more mainstream?
I think for sure, I feel like I'm on my soapbox all the time when I talk at these sorts of things, but I think for one, frequency management in terms of connected TV and over the top. And I think that that's just because there's so many different people or different, not people, but different vendors selling each other's inventory. And so, yes, you can frequency cap within your own if you're, a Sling TV or if you're a Tubi. But if we're buying you through an Amazon or a Roku, you can't necessarily actually frequency cap. So I think we definitely need to figure that piece. And then I think the next piece, which is just, I think, equally important, is really cross-platform measurement. As I mentioned before, we buy video across screen and we buy it on all the different ways that you can buy video, not just on demo also, but also in strategic audience. And if we can, and our client has an M1 audience, that's what we're buying it against. And I think we really need to solve for that holistic cross-platform measurement in terms of measuring full video for our clients in landscape. Because I think some are a little bit nervous, and maybe not nervous isn't the right word, but they're a little bit held back and reserved to look at video holistically because the measurement isn't fully there.
So have you seen much in terms of measurement developments? Nielsen's obviously come out with a new approach. Where does measurement stand vis-a-vis the tools that exist? Perhaps what Nielsen is unveiling, and kind of what you would like to see as far as proper measurement.
I believe Nielsen, there's an article today I just read, and I think they're having a session at 11, which I'm attending, to talk about the change that they're making. It seems like it's in 2024, which seems like it's very far away. So, I don't know that Nielsen is necessarily the leader, but I don't think anybody has really come to the table to be the leader in terms of replacing the measurement piece. I think a lot of people are making strides, but it's not necessarily that there's one or the other that we're turning to at this point. I think we've started to build internal tools so that we can measure incremental reach against the audiences that we're buying against for our clients. So that tool internally is definitely used on the planning end, and we can use it somewhat to optimize. But we don't have it yet in terms of the back end measurement to follow the buy. I mean, we can then run the buy through after the fact, but there's no, when actuals come in to run that buy. So I think that there's a lot of movement to make, and we've done some things internally, but definitely more room to grow here.
When you sort of look at publishers, the sell side, what is your message to them? What do you hope that they do? How the industry could pull together on the sell side?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easier said than done. I think that they need to work together. I think they're always kind of reluctant to work together, to show their cards and to show what they're doing. But I do think in terms of this piece that working together is only going to make the industry stronger. And, we need to come together to be all on one platform, or all, all within the same platform, so that you can actually get the measurement level to where we are, and that we can have the frequency capping to be across platform. And I think, there are companies that are trying to do that, like DCM and Innovid, but at the same time, it's, not every client is on that same system. So then we're running into the problem. And then, or not every vendor. So I think that that's the biggest thing, is that coming together is actually going to help. I'm interested to see today, because there are clients and I think network executives that are going to be on the Nielsen call to see how they're all coming together. But again, it's only a snippet. I think we thought that when OpenAP was going to come out, that everybody would eventually join it. That hasn't happened. Now there's Xandr Invest versus OpenAP, which has the different vendors. So I don't think there's everybody coming together. And I think that's the biggest part.
And finally, Kara, lots been happening in video investment over the years since we've been speaking, and a lot happening during the pandemic, and a lot happening into the new year. And I was wondering if you could sort of give an overview on video investment, where it's going, potentially the role of the upfront, but give us some of your thoughts on where it's going.
I mean, video, we've heard about it for so long. I've been on the video side for over 20 years, and I've heard, TV's dead, video's dead, TV upfront's dead. And I truly think video is powerful, because what video is content. And consumers, if they weren't before seeking out content, they are 100% seeking out content now. They're not necessarily seeking out 8 o'clock or 12 o'clock in the afternoon. They're searching to watch what they want to watch. So video, how I think, has evolved in terms of, it's still there, it's still prominent, it's still a way to reach people. But we just have to buy it and look at it holistically, and not necessarily buy it on age and gender, but look to really focus on an audience and hit that audience to get more effective. And I think that it's just as prominent as it was before. Yes, ratings are down, but how do we circumvent the ratings being down and buy across the video landscape? And I think the biggest, other thing that I think you asked about is the upfront. I think a lot of clients asked about the upfront. A lot of talk was talked about for months, actually, about shifting to a broadcast year and, not buying, or shifting to a calendar year and not buying within a broadcast year. And I think for some, there's definitely some inventory issues if you want to just get in linear TV, but I don't think for those that do want to buy and haven't necessarily bought their fund, you're going to buy and scatter for the year, need to buy linear TV. I think that you can position it to buy some to get some of that mass awareness and scale, and we can buy around it and make sure that we're buying the best inventory that we can in the marketplace. But I think if you look at holistic video and where the consumer is going, you can buy it streaming, OTT, and then you can also actually position it to buy more effective by buying it on an audience. And you can do that through the tools that the networks have, or you can do that through programmatic TV, or you can do that through addressability.